go, scheduled for 10. This is now a super middleweight fight. Williams was scheduled to fight at 160 pounds. And you would think Toussaint would start quick early and kind of rue what might happen in the late rounds, considering he was in no condition to have this fight on this date.
The last time Wendy Toussaint fought a southpaw was against Andrea Holmes, and that fight was stopped because of a headbutt, which we see a lot with lefty and righty type fighters because they cross over each other's feet. So we'll see if that doesn't happen here.
Yeah, that was a competitive fight against Holmes. It was stopped in the 8th round, and the scores were pretty close. And Holmes is somebody that has been in title eliminators. I mentioned the loss to Charles Conwell. It took Conwell 9 rounds to stop Wendy Toussaint. So he's been in with some good fighters. 3 losses, all to undefeated opponents.
Toussaint has a really sneaky, well-timed right hand. That's the shot right there that Amel's going to have to watch out for. Amel is the left-hander. That's the money punch for a southpaw. Just straight down the pipe, but he throws it real short if you're inside, or he throws it real long if you're on the outside.
And I think the most dangerous Wendy Toussaint's going to be is probably in these first 3 rounds. I mean, even if he was preparing for a fight in February, he was still 15 pounds heavier than his usual weight. So I think Amel's got to try to weather the storm early on and try to assert control in the middle later rounds.
The last time we had a similar situation to this was when Martin Bacoli came in on just a couple hours notice to fight Joseph Parker last second. Parker dispatched of him in round number 1.
Martin Bacoli had to travel, I think, 4 time zones, 2 continents, and whatever it was to get there.
Good right hand from Toussaint.
Toussaint is landing some nice right hands. I don't like the fact that Amel's getting hit so early, and this is a knock I have on Amel, is lack of upper body movement. He's still getting hit by the same punch, and that's a straight right hook, but it's that right hand.
There's a little clash of heads. You can see Amel pointing at his forehead.
Toussaint's not going to come in here and try to win rounds. He's not going to stay punch for punch or keep up with the volume of Amel. He's just going to try to time a straight right hand or a right hook.
If you're Amel, are you trying to push the tempo to try and get Toussaint tired?
I'm trying to box and get out of these early rounds because that's where a guy like Toussaint is going to have any type of chance. You know, early. When you try to get him later into the fight, it's a 10-round fight. Wendy Toussaint is not going to be prepared for the later round.
And see the size of Toussaint. He's a 154-pounder, coming up for this officially a super middleweight fight. But he's a big guy there in the ring.
Now, he doesn't look like a junior middleweight to me. Toussaint looks like a full-fledged middleweight. He has the height, he has the reach, and he filled out nicely.
Good opening round for Haitian Fire so far.
Very good round. I like that 2-1-2 that we were talking about in the last fight. That's a great combination to throw against a southpaw.
Now, please. Good. How do you feel? Good. Nice job. I want you to go and walk with that jab, okay? Work off that jab. Put the pressure with the jab, okay? You listen to me? You're doing everything right. Just work forward off the jab, okay? He's feeling it. That right hand's there. That right hand's there. We'll come back with the left hook. Okay? He's dropping that hand. Stay with the jab. Double it, triple it, forward, forward, forward. All right? You're doing good.
Finish with that right hand. Pop him with the right hand. Come back with that hook. Come back with that fucking hook, kid.
Keep your head offline. Keep moving your upper body in. Move your upper body. Don't take unnecessary punches.
That was the audio from the corner of Toussaint, and they're very happy, it seems, with what they're seeing so far.
No, I was surprised because at first I thought it was the advice of Amel, but I thought Toussaint had a good round, and that advice fits what I saw with Wendy Toussaint in that first round.
Watch your head there, guys.
The right hand, he says, it's always there.
And they are right, because Amel needs to get out of the line of fire. See, he needs to go either to the left or to the right when he comes in, but you got to pop the jab. You got to break that rhythm of Toussaint always waiting for that right hand.
Chris, you were telling me earlier, Matchroom wasn't too happy about this matchup. They had some real concerns.
No, it's not that they weren't happy. And shout out to Kevin Rooney of Matchroom for getting this fight put together. It is not easy in the state of New York to find an opponent this late, someone that's done the medicals, had the blood work, and is available to fight. But they didn't view this as some kind of walkover fight for Amel Williams. They know the talent of Wendy Toussaint. He's been around the block, and they know what kind of fight their guy's getting into.
I could already tell you Toussaint can fight. He can box, he can fight. He's looking for the right shots. This is the type of fight that could easily turn into a nightmare for Ammo Williams if he's not focused and careful all the way to the end.
And Toussaint does have 3 losses on his record, but the combined record of his last 5 opponents, 55-5. So he's fighting very good competition and should not be intimidated by Ammo Williams.
Not at all, and he's coming off a fight where he beat an undefeated fighter. And his other losses are by undefeated fighters as well. So taking zeros is nothing new for Wendy Toussaint. See right here, Ammo should be jabbing, closing the distance.
Good right hand again from Toussaint.
Toussaint's just waiting the time until Ammo's done punching, but he's not giving him nothing to think about. So the jab is what Ammo needs to be doing.
But Chris, in the last fight, Ammo Williams fought Ivan Vasquez. Similar situation where Vasquez had a lot of success early before he finally faded out in the late rounds.
The difference, though, with Vasquez is that he was, and I say this respectfully, basically a club fighter. Like, he had never been past the 8th round of a fight. Wendy Toussaint has. Now, he may not be in the best of condition, but you can't just simply rely on Wendy Toussaint to fade as a strategy to win this fight.
He was apparently in camp for a fight February 28th, but that still means, what, 4 more weeks of training camp he had to go through before he was in tip-top shape. But, you know, back in the day, Sergio, Muhammad Ali, what were they having, 4-week training camps? All of a sudden now it's 8-week training camps.
You're talking about the greatest here, Todd.
Well, we're talking about back in the day, those guys would have 4- and 5-week training camps.
Well, it's a lot different now. I mean, the lifestyle was a lot different. Of course, fighters back in the day were a lot tougher as well. And they weren't getting
Were they tougher?
Yes, they were, and they weren't getting the paydays they are now. So they have to fight more consistently.
Move on you now. You gotta cut the ring off, bro. Get it out. Listen, brother. Trying to move on you, so we gotta slip, slide, and cut the ring off. Behind your jab, kicking and stabbing, picking and poking, slipping and slide, cut the ring off. When you cut the ring off, you gotta run them shots off. You gotta cut that ring off and run them shots off, bro.
Ammo told us yesterday, after being upset for about 20 minutes after he learned the news, he said, you know what? This happened to me in my last fight. I know how to deal with this. I'm approaching this fight like it is still for the world title, and I'm still fighting Carlos Adames.
Well, the way you have to, because if you lose a fight like this to Wendy Toussaint, there will be no world title shot the next time out.
And if Ammo doesn't start jabbing and double jabbing, closing the distance, it's going to be a long night.
Well, I think Kevin Cunningham had a good point in the corner there, talking about cutting the ring off. We're seeing Ammo kind of follow around a little bit in the first 2+ rounds. He's got to find a way to step over to his left and cut the ring off when Wendy moves to the right.
And you could do that easier if you're jabbing your way in. But if you're following your opponent, you know, hoping to land the perfect shot, you know, that's when it looks bad. It looks like you're following him around instead of cutting off the ring and doing what you want to do. So you should be jabbing Ammo right here. Instead, nothing, just one jab. That jab breaks the rhythm of anybody that's just looking to counter, you know, so you're always doing something in between your combinations.
Good right hand again there from Toussaint. He's had the more dramatic power punches.
Yes, yeah, because Ammo's making it easy on him. He's not making him think about nothing. Always make your opponent think about something. That's when you got to be flicking the jab, double, tripling the jab. And when you get on the inside, you rip the body, make him block those punches with his elbows.
Chris, you ever met a man named Wendy before?
I have to think about that, Todd.
Sure you have, Todd.
My sister's name Wendy. Shout out to Wendy Grisham. Ammo just following Toussaint around the ring.
He's at least doing, and I know what you're saying, Sergio, with the jab, but I agree with that. He is targeting the body a lot in these first couple of rounds. I think that's going to be important. To stop the movement of Wendy Toussaint, you've got to dig downstairs to that body.
Yeah, and Toussaint needs to start catching and countering with the uppercut if Ammo is going to be throwing those body shots. If you didn't go to camp and prepare and spar to get hit down there, those punches will take effect, even if you're blocking them, because you're not accustomed to getting hit for a 6 to 8 week camp.
Emma Williams said he was sparring about 30 rounds a week, and admitted maybe it was a little too much, but I just love sparring. I feel like I get better at fighting by fighting.
Well, that can sometimes turn against you. I would think that having a great trainer in this corner like Kevin Cunningham would prevent him from sparring so much. Maybe they're light rounds, maybe they're not against big punchers, but you gotta be careful with so many rounds of sparring. Fighters become stale mentally.
Body shots in the round there for Ammo.
Ammo trying to rip the body, but it's Toussaint with that little short right hand. That's his best punch. He's been throwing it straight, he's been hooking, he's been uppercut. I would like to see him throw more body shots as well, but I see what Wendy Toussaint is doing though. He's trying to not punch with Ammo. He's waiting for Ammo to be done, and he's going to get his. But if he's not in shape, that's going to actually backfire to him. That was a good run by Ammo going to the body.
Yeah, 13-2 edge in body punches so far for Ammo Williams. You can see the strategy. I think it's smart. It is, though, as you know, Sergio, the kind of strategy that you have to wait a couple of rounds to see if it's going to pay off.
So Ammo Williams, nice left hand there. Really coming out a little hotter than he had the previous 3 rounds.
Great combination.
Not sure if you can hear the corner through a microphone. You probably can. Toussaint's team just
to punch with them,
to throw more.
Yeah.
Let your hands go.
And what they mean by that is that they can't keep up with the speed and the length and the size of someone like Williams. So you got to punch in between the shots, because then you're going to intercept the combinations. They're not going to get comfortable throwing 3-4 punch combinations if you're punching in between.
Now a rare foray forward for Toussaint. He had some success there.
I know who you want. Let's go, Wendy. Work, go back up. Forward, Wendy. Off the jab, Wendy.
Maybe a little fatigue setting in for Wendy Toussaint. A little more of a stationary target in this round, not using the entirety of the ring like he did in the first 2 or 3 rounds.
Sergio, when you're feeling fatigued, as we look at jabs thrown through the first 3 rounds, Williams with double the output nearly.
Yeah, but Toussaint is landing at a higher percentage, so that's going to be Toussaint's game. He's not going to keep up with the activity or the volume of Ammo, but he's going to try to punch in between shots, punch whenever Ammo breaks the distance. He's going to let Ammo do all the hard work, all the pressuring, all the activity, all the volume. Toussaint's is going to try to catch him with the right hand at the right time.
Sergio, when you start to get fatigued, what's the first part of your game that starts to show signs of slippage?
That's a good defense. It all depends on the fighter, but I would say the punch volume goes down and the lack of upper body movement. But since Toussaint just has the high guard, you're not really going to see that when he gets tired. Normally, when a fighter starts getting tired, his hands start dropping lower and lower.
Again, Williams trying to cut the ring off. Did a good job there. Land some body shots.
Good body shots there by Ammo. Toussaint better catch and counter those body shots, so they're going to have an effect real fast.
And Chris, I think you're right. Toussaint slowing down.
Look, I think that's part of the body work of Ammo Williams, part of the fact that you were driving a bus on Thursday. I think it's tough to come in. Give him all the credit in the world for coming in like this, but I really thought coming into this fight, as I said, we're at the top, 2-3 rounds right away. That's where Wendy Toussaint is probably going to be his most effective. Now you see Ammo Williams, who's been in a 7-week camp, who is prepared.
Oh, big uppercut! A lightning strike from Ammo.
Beautiful shot. Ammo landed a left hand right in the body. It's 7-something. Beautiful. Right uppercut, right down the middle. Wendy's out. He's out. I doubt he can contain him. Maybe the bell will save him.
They're going to let him go. Ammo
to the body. Beautiful combination by Ammo.
You see where that came from? Where it come from? What hand? Spin. Where's your bucket? Spin. Do it again. No. Don't left. Look to me. Relax. Okay. Fight. Fight with him. You understand? You're the better fighter. Don't back up. Go. I want you. Right? That's what
And now you can see that Ammo landed a nice body shot, but before that right uppercut, it was a left hand to the body that really got the attention of Toussaint, which is what made an entrance for that right uppercut. And from the southpaw stance, that's going to be a punch that's going to be there again for Ammo Williams. Beautiful shot. You can see the chin rattled. That's going to have effect in this next round. You can't just shake that off in 60 seconds.
I love the rear uppercut. It's such a dangerous punch for fighters to throw because you're exposed if you don't land it cleanly. But that was well executed. They've been working on that shot in camp.
Toussaint's corner saying, look, you got to fight him now. Stand there. You're the better fighter. Go get it.
I agree with Sergio, though. Step on the gas for Ammo Williams. I can't see Toussaint being fully recovered that quickly.
Yeah, the referee took a long look at him, almost stopped it. The bell saved him for sure.
Body shots and uppercuts is what you're going to be looking for if you're Ammo Williams. Not only did you just drop him with an uppercut, but those are punches that are going to keep Toussaint's hands blocking instead of punching. See right there, you just got to rip. You got to rip those gloves, those forearms, and then break up that guard with uppercuts if you're Ammo.
I think Ammo's kind of beating the fight out of Wendy Toussaint.
Yeah, he's feeling the flow right now as Ammo just waiting for the opportunity to land a kill shot.
I love how Ammo just on him. He's not letting him breathe. This is mental pressure, body pressure that Ammo's applying. See, right now, the jab's not even necessary no more because you already hurt your opponent. Now you can dig the heavy shots. Now you can be a little bit more aggressive. Not reckless, but you can take more chances if you're Ammo.
Yeah, not sure what Toussaint has in the gas tank to fire back, at least to get Ammo's attention. Right now, just circling the ring, buying time.
I can't tell if he's trying to use this time to recover or if he's just trying to stay away from him.
Right on the belt line there from Ammo. Williams 13 knockouts in his 19 wins. Would love to pick another one up here.
It's a pretty good hook there from Toussaint.
You like how Ammo's handling things here, Sergio?
I like the pressure, but he can still be throwing a few jabs instead of just following them around like that. I know he wants to look for the heavy shots, which, you know, you don't really need a jab to break that distance. But 2 minutes have passed, more than 2 minutes have passed now. So get back into another gear. Go back to the jab. Go back to setting up your power instead of just, you know, going for the knockout, which is not there anymore. Credit to Wendy Toussaint for his recovery skills because I didn't think he was going to make it past this round after that major uppercut and then knockdown. You don't recover that fast from uppercut shots like that. So the resilience on Wendy Toussaint is impressive.
Right hand kind of stumbled Ammo back. Looked like he was falling off balance already. But Toussaint will take anything he can get at this point. Well, coming up next, undefeated WBC interim featherweight champion Bruce "Shoo-Shoo" Carrington faces off against veteran Carlos Castro for the vacant WBC featherweight world title. That's actually 2 fights away. Coming up next, this big behemoth steps into the ring. 317 pounds, Chris.
Yeah, kind of win or go home, too, for Jarrell Miller. Has not won a fight since 2023. Has not been in the ring since the summer of 2024. But this is his first time as a professional fighting here in Madison Square Garden, the same building he was supposed to compete in 2019 before the Anthony Joshua fight was scrubbed. Now he's back trying to get that next big fight against Kingsley eBay, who has had a lot of jobs in his life. He's been a life insurance salesman, a bouncer, a football player, and now here he is trying to get his shot at a major fight in the heavyweight division.
He would consider this a major fight. since it's at Madison Square Garden against a favorite opponent, Andrell Miller. There's a nice shot from Toussaint to start round 6.
It's an important round for Tucson. If he's going to attempt to try to win this fight, he has to punch with ammo. He landed a good left hook right there. Let's see if he can get something going.
Again on the back foot, though, as Toussaint continuously circling away.
And there's nothing being on the back foot as long as you're punching with your opponent, trying to counter, throw some jabs to the body. You punch whenever you're ready to land a good shot, you know, because Amel's already putting the pressure. He's the one that's going to punch at will. You just got to try to counter if you're Toussaint.
That was the setup for the uppercut from earlier. Toussaint was all over at that time. Clubbing the right hand from Toussaint. But anytime he becomes stationary, that's when Williams lets his hands go. Like right now, good body shot.
And you know what? I would welcome that if I'm Toussaint, because the thing about Amel, he loads up on every shot. He doesn't hide his power. So if you can catch and counter a fighter like Amel, then you start getting respect and you start getting things going your way by actually catching and countering, landing some shots. But when you just cover it up like that, you're going to make it easy for a fighter like Amel Williams.
Yeah, Toussaint, too, is kind of in survival mode here. Has been for the last couple of rounds. It just, you know, his corner is urging him to punch with Amel Williams, but that's when you leave yourself most exposed. So, to me, Wendy Toussaint's main objective right now is to get to the finish line.
Yeah, man, but if you're going to try to shock the world, I mean, you got to punch, or else you're going to go back to, you know, driving a bus. You know, you got to risk getting you know, hit to do something.
Toussaint tried an uppercut of his own.
Keep punching, man.
But this is never good look. This is never a good look for the judges when you're constantly moving backwards and away from engaging.
And it's not a good look when you're just moving like that and then complaining for borderline low blows like Toussaint. So these are already signs of him not having a fight in him.
And as we look at the fan zone, 10% of you are wrong.
And it probably represents Long Island.
That one split the guard from Ammo. 25 seconds to go here in round 6.
You know, what do you do, Sergio? Because you've got one thing Ammo could be doing better is cutting the ring off. Like, he's just following around Toussaint and allowing him to move the way he is.
And that's because of the footwork of K9. You can see how he always brings his feet together. See how he brings his feet together? That's a big no-no in boxing, and that's the reason he has trouble putting off the ring. He can't move laterally.
You can't follow him around the ring, bro. Even though he's moving.
Big left hook there landed by Wendy Toussaint. Wendy going around the guard of Amel. Amel's not the best defensively himself because he's an offensive fighter. He likes to go forward. So there's openings for Wendy Toussaint to land something. And that's why his corner's urging, yelling, admonishing their men to throw some punches, do something.
You're right up relax. Breezy. You're right. Shoot your jab, you're right up and your left hook. 3 fucking punches. Let your hands go. He's leaning in front. He was falling in.
It's what I told you. Stay with the basics, okay?
Second round.
All right, round 7. Toussaint lasting longer than I'm sure many people thought he would, especially after eating that big right hook that dropped him to the canvas in the 4th round. And Toussaint, at the beginning of every round, shows some life, Sergio, and then just kind of fades away and gets into the running game.
Yeah, because he's probably not as well conditioned, and that's what you do. You know, you get a little bit of respect in the starting of a round, the first minute of a round, but then you just go into survival mode. You know, guys like Toussaint that aren't in shape to go 10 rounds, they're just going to fight in spurts. They're not here to win, really. You know, they're just here to survive, not get hurt, not get knocked out, and pick up a check. I mean, he's a replacement, a last-minute replacement, and the longer he goes, more of a moral victory for Wendy Toussaint.
Sergio, we always talk about someone being able to cut off the ring. What are the keys to being good at that, and why isn't Ammo able to do it?
He doesn't have the footwork. Look at how his feet come together. Ammo has never been the best at footwork, and he squares himself up. So I want you guys to notice the feet, how they always come together. A fighter's stance should always be like a sprinter. You know, he should bring them lightly, but he always brings them together.
Yeah, it's definitely a skill that gets learned over time. Gennady Golovkin, who is here sitting ringside, was one of the best that I've seen at cutting the ring off. Just was able to cut off routes no matter where his opponent was going and force them to where he wanted them to be.
Look, look at how his feet just walk to his opponent, Amos, and he brings them together. That's actually detrimental. If you can punch in between when a fighter's feet are together like that, you can either hurt them, drop them, or catch them off guard.
Well, is there any advantages to bringing your feet together like that?
None. That's a big no-no in boxing. Great fighters don't do that. Look at his feet. I just want you guys, everyone watching, to watch the feet of Alan Williams when they get a chance. They come together real closely, and you could take advantage of that with Toussaint because you're not balanced. They're always coming together. There's no space in between there.
Williams has him in the corner, but lets him out. Crowd beginning to get a little bit impatient here. They think Williams should just get this guy gone.
Good body shot by Ammo. That's another thing. Whenever you have a fighter moving around the perimeter of the ring, you just got to bang at the body. If they're moving to your right, you got to throw your right hand. Stop them from going that way. Left, the same thing. Dig down to the body. That's how you stop them from moving. Then you can go from bottom up.
Oh, there's a right hand from Toussaint right before the bell.
You had him on the go. You had him on the go. All you gotta do is keep working. From the bottom up. From the top down. Just keep sliding across the ring, cutting the ring off, and immediately go from the bottom up or from the top down. Just keep working. He ready to fold, bro.
Listen, you land it when you punch back. You gotta be aggressive. You gotta be aggressive. Uppercuts are there for you in the hook. But you gotta put your punches together. You're not gonna land one at a time. You gotta put combinations together.
Every time you throw that right hand, it's there to go again. Finish with it. Over the top, twice, bring the hook down.
The DJ letting the music run a little longer. No one's complaining about that as we head into the 8th round. Looking for some late drama here either way. Get this crowd buzzing a little bit. It's our second fight of the night. The main card is up next. The heavyweight showdown. Terrell Big Baby Miller and Kingsley eBay.
You know, Toussaint's corner is giving them the right instructions if he was looking to get a win. Telling him to throw with him, keep punching. But it's just a lot to ask when you're as worn down as Wendy Toussaint is right now. Like I said before, I think he's been in survival mode since probably the 4th or 5th round.
And on the flip side of things, you're Kevin Cunningham telling Emma Williams, when you get him in the corner, give him the business. Right now, there you go.
There you go. That's what you do. You start from the bottom up. And I think I heard Kevin Cunningham say something about that, going from the bottom up. What he means by that is you got to throw your punches downstairs to the rib area, to the forearm, hit the elbows, and then that way you can stop your opponent from moving and go up from there. They don't have to land clean, but at least you're getting your opponent to stop, be stationary, and attack.
Wendy, born in Haiti, raised there, then moved to the United States at the age of 17, later became a U.S. citizen, nicknamed Haitian Fire. Been a volunteer fighter, now a bus driver, has worked in home health care for seniors in a factory and security. He's done it all. Just trying to make ends meet like so many American citizens. But getting a big cash check tonight for this effort. Chris Mannix reportedly saying it's about $250,000.
Wow.
Right?
He can buy himself a couple of buses.
Sergio would have done it for the Emperor's package at Caesar's Palace.
You know, Amo's the type of guy where he loads up on a lot of shots, and in this fight, he's following around Toussaint way too much. So I could see how Adames would have been the favorite here, because Adames is a boxer puncher, good on his back foot, good counter puncher. But like I said in the beginning of the telecast, Amo wasn't preparing for anybody but Adames, so it's hard to look good against a last-minute opponent like this. I don't care how great in shape you are. This is all mental. This is all strategy and game plan. If you didn't train for this man, so it's very difficult to look good and shine.
But at the same time, Sergio, you're telling us about fundamental things that he's getting so wrong in this fight.
That's true, and I've never said Amo was a flawless fighter. He has a lot of flaws.
Two there from Tucson. A little ray of sunshine on a cloudy day.
Listen to me, bro. We got 2 rounds left. All right? Everything you worked for, all the hard work you put in, it comes down to now. Comes down to right now. You hear me? Everything you work for, what you want to change your life is right now. Don't let no one take that away from you. I don't care if it's on a day's notice, a week's notice. I don't give a shit. This is your fight. You're better than me. Come on, Wendy. I love you, kid. You're doing great. Let's go. Calm down. Relax. I got you. Relax. Okay?
Look at me. No. It's back up top. All right? It's the breakdown process. You got to break this dude down. But he ain't got nothing to keep you off
the corner, Tucson. He said, it's now or never. You've trained your whole life for this. Go get him. All right, now calm down and relax. Take some deep breaths. You hype him up and deflate him. Either way, 2 rounds to go here in a fight that Amo Williams is dominating, but Toussaint has landed a couple of good power punches. You saw 2 body shots there at the end of round number 8. There's a left hand.
It feels like for Toussaint, you can get this vibe from the corner. It's not about strategy at this point. It's about getting him willing to engage, willing to take some chances.
Good body shot by Amo. I would think that they told him to throw more body shots here to stop the movement of Toussaint. Because Toussaint's happy. He made a home moving about the perimeter of the ring. This fight hasn't been fought on the inside. It's just Toussaint going around the entire ring, and it's Amo following him.
Williams swinging for the body and missing as Toussaint continues to circle away. He's been primarily circling away from the power hand, the left hand of Williams.
Amo has power in both hands. You know, he has a nice right hook, nice left uppercut. In this fight, I would like to see more jabs, more power jabs. Just missing with a big right hook, right uppercut is Amo right now. That punch will be there again as the uppercuts.
And this is where Kevin Cunningham wants to see Amo let his punches go.
You know, some of this for Amo comes down to preparation. Like, Carlos Adames would not fight like this.
No.
Or close to it. So when you've got a guy like that who you haven't prepared for, who you probably haven't brought sparring partners in training that way, it definitely can have an effect on the fight.
I'll tell you one thing. Carlos Adames is probably watching this fight thinking, man, I could have beat this version of this man, but, you know, Amo's not fighting Adames, and you get let down when that happens. And this is what I said, that it's all mental.
Let me play devil's advocate a little bit here. I mean, you go in a baseball game, you think you're facing a right-handed breaking ball pitcher, all of a sudden a left-hander walks in and throws fastballs. These guys have trained hundreds and hundreds of sparring rounds against all different types of opponents for years and years and years, and you're telling me a last-second replacement of a guy who's not really in there to win, that you should have this much trouble with?
Let me put it in terms you can understand, Todd. It's like if you were studying, preparing for an event, and then all of a sudden you go from a boxing show to a baseball game that they want you to commentate. It's a totally different ball game. You know, you're not prepared for that. Yes, you can call the simple things, but the intricate things, you don't know.
You could have gone anywhere with that analogy. I have no idea. I thought there might be an Alabama joke coming there.
Went to a boxing match and a baseball game broke out. All right.
Let him go.
Not a lot of action here in round 9.
Toussaint did land a nice right hook.
Stop at the bell, gentlemen.
You know, if he keeps landing anything one round, he keeps getting the confidence to go to the next.
You guys set it up. Give him a finger.
And here's the body shots that I want to see a little bit more of. That one's straight a little bit low, and that's a straight shot. I want to see hooks around the guard of the elbows, just like that. Just like Toussaint is landing on ammo. Jabs and body shots of your Ammo Williams, punching with your opponent if you're Wendy Toussaint.
The 10th and final round. If you're just tuning in, Austin Ammo Williams was supposed to be facing Carlos Adames for the WBC Middleweight Championship, but he was taken out due to either injury or illness, and in stepped Wendy Toussaint in less than 24 hours notice to take this bout, and so far pretty much just take a beating. But he's still in there in the final round.
Taking a beating, but he's already in the 10th round. In a 12-day notice, I mean, this is a win for Wendy Toussaint. Not only the payday that he's getting, but he's in there with a title challenger, you know, that was going to be fighting for a world championship. That says a lot about a fighter like Wendy Toussaint. Took this fight and didn't know what was going to happen. So I'm actually a little bit more... I'm happy for Ammo getting the fight, but this isn't the performance Ammo needed or wanted.
Toussaint's corner still believes he can work some magic here in the final 2 minutes. Whereas Ammo, you would think he'd be going for the gusto here to finish this guy. Is that what you'd be wanting to do, Sergio?
Yeah, and that's why I sounded a little disappointed. I mean, I'm happy that he got the fight and saved the date. But you're supposed to take guys out like this. At one, they've been stopped before. Two, they took this fight in less than 2-week notice.
You got to get 2 week no tell 24 hours notice.
Wasn't it 12 days?
No, it was like 12 hours.
Oh, 12 hours, sorry. Well, that's even more disappointing.
Yeah. Never mind. You came to a boxing match at a baseball game.
I think Ammo just rocked him right now with a chopping right hook. That caught the attention of Toussaint. All could be forgiven if Ammo could actually stop him in the last round.
Yeah, people only remember the highlights, and he did drop Toussaint earlier with a massive right uppercut.
What's funny, he went with that rear uppercut that put Toussaint down. We haven't seen him try that again since then. Now, Toussaint's movement has picked up since that moment, but I've been waiting for him to kind of unleash that one more time.
Keep going, Wayne, keep going! Come on, Wayne! Let it fly, Wendy, let it fly! Do it again! Come on, Wayne! Forward, Wendy, forward!
So Ammo Williams will get the win here tonight, but it'll be a fight he probably won't want to watch too many times. Want to move on to the next one. He did score that impressive knockdown, but after that, not too much to talk about. Nice score there from Tucson.
They have lost this last round, but you know, the last minute replacements always occur. So I'm happy Ammo got the fight, went the distance, got some rounds,
got some money,
but it wasn't the greatest performance on Ammo Williams, but he did save the date, save the slot.
So Williams will move to 20-1 overall. And Sergio, do you think this will hurt his case when they say, look, we still want that middleweight world title shot when Adames is healthy?
Nah, it won't hurt his case because he was preparing for a champion. And in steps Wendy Toussaint, an unknown, unheralded fighter. So you can't help yourself but to be let down. So no, I don't think it takes away from the chances.
But like you said, Adames is probably sitting at home watching this going, I'll fight this guy.
Oh, yeah, no. Adames is licking his chops
7
right
days
now.
a week, twice on Sunday.
Yeah. But that can work in the favor of Ammo Williams as well. You know, let him think that. I'll come back even better, more motivated, and prepared. Because he was preparing for Adames and not this man named Wendy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our free to air. Coming up later tonight, of course, the main event, the fight we didn't think we'd be seeing, at least not at this stage of their careers. Prime versus prime, 28-year-olds squaring off in the main event at Madison Square Garden. Teofimo Lopez, the 140-pound champ, taking on Shakur Stevenson. Well, Sergio, if you get Austin Williams back in the gym, what's the first thing you're working on with him?
Footwork. Footwork and upper body movement. Be more fluid. You know, he's a little bit too stiff. And fighters like Adames that are more fluid, good with the 1-2, they know how to move the entire ring. They're boxer punchers. You know, they take advantage of stiff, strong southpaws like Ammo Williams.
Thomas Triber has the scores.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Max DeLuca scores it 98-91, and both judges, Benoit Roussel and Tom Carasone, score it the same, 99-90. All for your winner by unanimous decision. Austin Ammo Williams.
Well, not much drama there as Williams gets the win.